Why did it take me 11 years to play this damn game? Straight to the point, no fluff, no nonsense. If you want to know the good, the bad, the in between, stick around. I know what you're thinking. Which one? Both. Doing both games in one review. I decided I wanted to play both games and then review them all as one. We're going to break this game up into categories, but differently this time. We got Last of Us 1, then Last of Us 2. Then we're going to talk about the dynamic of Abby and Ellie. Themes and the emotional impact of the game. Then we'll talk about graphics, gameplay. I can't lie, there's not much I can say. And then finally, we will conclude with the opinion. It's a good one. Or is it? So first things first, story, 10 out of 10. Perfect. No. Shut the fuck up if you think differently. It is so well written. I have no problems with the story. Just because you don't like how something went doesn't mean it's a bad story. Let's get into what happened. So let's talk about the first game. It really is just about survival, love, and moral ambiguity. Joel loses his daughter at the start of the game, which is a pinnacle moment. Then the game skips 20 years. 20 years? Hold. This girl is immune, and then you're gonna go take her so you can save the world. And then Joel's like, what the f? They take her, Tess sacrifices herself. Thanks, Tess. Then as their relationship builds, Joel feels the hole in his heart left behind by his daughter's death, which makes his final decision all the more reasonable. Peep the quotes. If you haven't seen me play part 1, there you go. You can play the second game with knowing one thing about game 1. It may not hit you and make you feel things, but it's all you need to really know. And game 1 is boiled down to one moment. The entire first game is as if you were a fly on the wall to a daddy-daughter day. And oh, like look at them two hard-headed people softening each other up. Pause this video, go get a drink, a hot drink, cup of piss. I'm not here to judge. Main point comes down to the end decision. You save Ellie from being killed and used to distribute a cure worldwide. Everyone has an opinion on this, and that's the point. If a game doesn't provoke discussion of moral compass, you're meant to feel things. You watching this are meant to have a different opinion to me, and if we don't, the other guy should. Comment down below, did Joel make the right decision? Before we continue, you shoot the doctor to get Ellie because he threatens you with a knife. I shot him so fast. It made me look at myself in the mirror and start thinking,
you killed them. We killed them.
We?
Remember your little accident in the laboratory? There's only one who can stop us. Or imagine if he joined us.
If you disagree with what Joel did, then you're clearly the one who's hunting him down if it was a reality in the game. If you want to feel a type of way about it, feel a type of way about it, but that just means you're part of that squad. We'll talk about this later, but that wraps up section 1, talking about the first game. Now let's talk about the second game. Now in part 2 of the game, oh boy, we ain't ready for this. I'm sorry. The second game is essentially one big ripple effect. In the second game, the major event that happens really early, first hour of the game, Joel dies. Who does he die to, you may ask? No, you know, you're not asking that, you know. He dies to Abby. Abby, you bitch! Why does he die to Abby? Because later in the game you find out the doctor we kill at the end of the first game was her father. From Joel's actions at the end of the game, everything in this game happened because of that. Does that mean the decision was any less valid? No. We don't do things in life to avoid future consequence because you can't tell the future. We worry about the now and that's it. In part 1, you go around killing everyone, everything, and it doesn't affect you. You do it, you laugh, ha ha ha. Shoot people in the face. You kill a bunch of fireflies. The people you used to be associated with, interesting, but the greater cause, to then flip on the entire cause and say, fuck you to everyone. You kill a bunch of people for no reason. I'm not saying it's a problem. I love that game. I get more annoyed at people's response to the second game when the first game, they loved it because it just basically is a game with no consequence. The reason people love the first game more than the second game, because it feeds off of this high. Oh, you can do anything you want and there's no consequence. Because the second game is the consequence. Because you're scared of consequence. The entire point of the second game is consequence. You can't just kill anybody you want in the first game and be mad that it bites you in the ass when it comes. Anyway, Joel dies, and then because Joel dies, Ellie wants revenge.
You're gonna fucking die!
Yeah, too right. Then she goes and gets revenge. Abby wants revenge. Abby goes to get revenge. But then Abby lets it go. Again, Ellie goes back for revenge. Ellie lets it go. I don't know why, but a lot of people think the second game is bad, and they think, oh, it's not a deep story. All they're doing is repeating this narrative of, oh, revenge is bad. Yeah, revenge is bad. But it's not just saying revenge is bad. It's making a point of the fact that you can't get away with doing things without consequences. I think the game highlights no one is special. Joel is not superhuman. Jesse's not superhuman.
What the fuck?
Manny's not superhuman. If you haven't played the game and I'm saying all these names, what the fuck? Go watch me play it if you haven't, and then we'll come back and talk. No one's immune to everything. Ellie's actually the only one immune to something, and she can still die a million ways. You can't take for granted, and the whole point is Ellie feels like she took people for granted. She took Dina for granted. She lost her. She took Joel for granted. She lost him. Do you get my point? You can just die. And I was very upset with what I was seeing because people are just fucking stupid. So, oh, Joel's a trained military guy. Why? As if he would get killed by Abby. He was surrounded. As if he would give his name out like that, just willy-nilly. Yeah, the thing that killed him was him saying his real name. But people slip up all the time. People forget that in games and in media, the whole point is we want to portray these characters as real people. Their reaction was,
I feel like we didn't give them something realistic enough, and we need to kind of do something crazy and go, let's just do something wild. Because we need to show to the players.
They're going more the realistic route. Even the way they do the cordyceps, like the zombie people, is more realistic. The rationing ideas, more stuff around it is realistic. Joel could have died and should have died a million times, but got plot armor. They took his plot armor off and he got clipped. And that's why with Dina, when she was about to kill her, Lev just said her name, basically. He just said Abby. And she was like, oh yeah, I don't want to be that person anymore. Because what she did to Joel, that wasn't even in their nature. And when you play as Abby, first thing they do is humanize their clique. They humanize them. Everyone thinks it's propaganda to make you like Abby, but it's not. The whole point is it's to show you that they're human too. They're normal. They're just like Jackson. And low-key, hot take, the Wolves were doing better than Jackson. They actually didn't need to mess with Jackson because Jackson is still doing bullshit. Look at what setup the Wolves had. They had it locked out. The two characters that are going at each other both have a common enemy, and yet they're fucking each other. When the real problem is the Seraphites, because they're just lynching people for no reason. You two are actually pretty decent clique, and yet you're both fighting each other, doing stuff against your own morals. Hence what I mean about moral ambiguity. Bending their rules to make sense when they know they don't agree with it. They give you the dogs to... the dogs. Don't even get me started on the dogs. I'd fucking clip a dog. You're not my dog. You come... If you're trying to kill me, I'm like... They have the nerve. Why, when I'm Abby, do I find out that dog is called Bear? Bear is the name of my dog. How dare you? The second game is a reality check. It's consequences. The game isn't saying, hey, revenge is bad, don't do revenge. They're just saying humans will always want revenge. We can't help ourselves. And that's the point. I wish they made Abby's days a bit shorter just because they were good. I really enjoyed them, don't get me wrong. The way they did Abby's section is like dangling a donut in front of someone on a treadmill, and then you say, no, you've got 2 hours left, and they've already done 2 hours of running. Ellie's parts are really good, the dual narrative's good, but that's part 2 of the game. Consequence. Okay, now section 3, we are specifically going to talk about Ellie and Abby are foils of each other. Anytime I was playing the game, and I was playing as Abby, and I noticed they were just doing the same shit, I just looked at my girlfriend and was like, foils! Because they're foils of each other. The entire point of the second game is to show that there are other people just like Ellie, Joel, all them. They're not the last ones. What are the differences between Ellie and Abby? We have Ellie, who had gained a new father figure. She's just living a teenage life, right? She's what, 18? And then the consequence finally comes. Abby, this entire time, has been seeking revenge, trying to hunt Joel down. Then the game starts. Ellie is consumed, not by vengeance, more by grief, thus seeking vengeance. she becomes more like Joel. She does things Joel would do. There's times in the game in her playthrough that she's starting to realize what she's becoming. A specific moment, the PSP girl, she stabbed her straight through here. And she just looks and she just goes, that was stupid. She's more saying that was a very unnecessary death. They didn't need to die. Consequence. Now you're dead. And you notice the point of no return when she leaves Dina, because she finally gets what she wants. She finally has the dream. Peace, Dina, little baby, RIP Jesse. Can't believe when he... Oh, talk about that. Do I think what she did was wrong? I don't think so. I think she was bound to do it anyway. It was just a matter of when. And then you have Abby. Abby spends her entire time consumed by vengeance, just like Ellie. However, she finds her redemption through Lev. They make a point to show her looking at
Please don't shoot. Joel, please get up.
Ellie crying and like screaming on the floor, and she sees herself in Ellie for when her dad died. She saw her dad's body on the floor, and I think ever since that point she's not felt the same, and she's just keeping a brave face. So as Abby's on her redemption, Ellie is just going into her vengeance. So Abby's like always one step ahead in the emotional intelligence route and her growth as a person, because Abby let Ellie live twice.
Come on.
Abby spared her twice. She beat her fucking ass the second time and just said, I don't want to see you again. And then she comes back. When Abby saw Ellie on the pillars, Abby was probably like, bro, what? She's probably like, what the fuck, man? You don't let go. I mean, thanks. That's a whole other thing. So when you start playing as Abby is when you start realizing the similarities between the two characters. Both lost a father figure, both pissed off about it, both seek revenge for it, and both very ruthless beasts. Like they be killing, they're just both very powerful characters and both have their own strengths. You know, Abby is more like Joel than Ellie is. There's so many similarities that Abby makes where she's like Joel, which is so interesting. At the end of the game, she holds Lev in her arms the same way Joel held Abby at the end of the first game. Both at the end of the game too. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that's very clever art direction. I think it's very purposeful. Ellie sparing them is like letting another journey like her and Joel's go off into the world. Kind of. When you meet Lev for the first time, that is the equivalent of Joel and Ellie meeting in the first game. And their relationship builds the same way Joel and Ellie's relationship builds. It's as if Ellie let them live because she saw her and Joel in them too. Joel's major action caused all of these consequences. We all know the butterfly effect. That's nothing new. That's not genius writing by any means. That's just pretty good. Just a quick section, quick takes. There's a lot of people that say that you can never make me like Abby. Abby's a great character. She makes really good decisions. She's a beast. She's really likable. Like, there's nothing bad about her. She just beat the shit out of Joel because she hated Joel. She doesn't fucking like Joel. Joel tortured loads of people. And they probably hate Joel. Like, what the hell are you talking about? I think people are just salty because Joel literally helped her and she still got revenge. But I think that's just more because she felt pressured to do so. Because remember, these are young women. Naughty Dog deserve the flowers of this game. It's so well done. It's so well written. They made choices that were massive risks and I think they paid off. Please do more realistic shit. People die every day. Joel is not immune. Him getting killed, completely normal. Should have happened a long time ago. Bro lasted 20-something years, 24 years. That's like saying that's like a human dying at 90. He shouldn't die. He survived 90 years. What? Finally, let's talk about the game, the actual game and the gameplay maybe? In the gameplay review. But you know, it's a story game. I mean, half of the playthrough. Also, have you liked and subscribed? Aw, thanks. Yeah, the gameplay's here, so gameplay. I liked it. 10 out of 10. The gameplay's fantastic. It seemed so choppy and stiff and shit, but when you actually play it and when you get good at it, it feels good. Graphics and world building we will put into one. Stunning. 10 out of 10 graphics. That is biased though, because I am playing the remastered version. So can something get a 10 out of 10 on graphics and environment when they've had 3 attempts? I don't know. So for that reason, I'll give it an 8, just because. But will I? No, because think about it. The PS3 version still holds up well in today's era. So yeah, see, 10 out of 10. It's got to be a 10 out of 10. You just saw my process of why. So now, one of the most important parts that I haven't even mentioned once because it's so good. Music. 10,000 out of 10. How are you getting such a high score with just one acoustic guitar? I don't know. You are powerful, Mr. Gustavo. The simplicity of just a couple string plucks, but the music is so good. The first game's music, really, really good. Second game's music, even better. How did you even beat that? The way the second game's music feels more somber and painful. The song's never upbeat. It's always just... You see how that makes you feel? Something feels wrong. Makes you think, even if you don't want to. It makes you ponder on whatever. If you had that on your life, could you imagine like going around and stubbing your toe and that came on? You drink your coffee and you spill it. You know? In terms of all the other kind of stuff with the game, I've already made my comments throughout, so... difficulty, I give difficulty a 9, only because I can't be too harsh because I didn't play every difficulty, so I feel like it does have the ability and gives you choice. I can't see how that's not good enough, because they even give you grounded and they give you permadeath, which is like super realistic and crazy. Anyone who's done permadeath on grounded, you're one hell of a player. Performance and voice acting, great. I felt every emotion. Ooh, do you know who actually deserves flowers? And this is a random one, but Sarah does. Specifically the actress. But when she died and got shot, I was very impressed with her performance. It made me genuinely feel like there was a kid hurt, and it made me feel very uncomfortable and upset. So, good job. Did they shoot her for this fucking voice acting thing? Did they stab her in the studio?
No. Listen to me, I know this hurts.
What fell short? The replayability. That's kind of another rating, but I'm gonna them together. People do replay it. They do have a new game plus. I'm not much of a replayer, especially story games. Replayability, I would say, fell short in my opinion. It's good, but they have no return mode, so I'd probably more likely go play that. Who is the game for? I asked my girlfriend, I said, is this a horror game? Because I'm scared. I don't think it is a horror game though. I think it's more of a... The game is for anyone who likes story games, basically. I only played this game because my friends recommended it. And I agree, if you like story-based games, you have to play this game. It's like on the must plays. You must play it. It's a play. I do apologize to Naughty Dog. I wasn't familiar with your game, quite literally. Final verdict. I can't believe it took me so long to play it. However, I'm very grateful that I got to play it late, because I got the best package. I got the remastered, and I got the remastered second version. And I got to play both of the games back to back. I didn't have to wait like 6 years, so... But I guess if you were waiting for the game for so long, it makes sense why you'd be a bit more butthurt. 'Cause you're like, I waited all this time for you to kill Joel, and I'm looking forward to season 2 of the show. You better be ruthless in the show, but I heard they're changing the story slightly. So who knows? Thanks for watching. This is a bit of a bigger video for a review because it is 2 games in 1. Let me know if you like these review videos. Please like and subscribe. You see the button? You see the button? You probably clicked off by now anyway, but if you didn't, I really don't know why you wouldn't want to watch me play the game. So go watch the game. Both playthroughs are right here. Yeah, see, even he agrees. See you later.